Hello, my name is Matt and this is Pixel Burn, where I take a sarcastic look at some of the more important, interesting or irritating things to have happened in the week's gaming news. Starting with the sad passing of Club Nintendo, which died this week. Well, it's not quite dead. Nintendo confirmed fans still have until June the 30th to spend all their soon-to-be useless loyalty coins, whereupon they'll finally pull the plug and let Club Nintendo die for good with what little dignity it has left. Now, when someone dies, it's common practice for newspapers and TV news to run pre-prepared obituaries. That may sound a little bit morbid, but that's just the way the world works, I'm afraid. So with that in mind, and because I'm a forward-thinking kind of bloke, I'm going to play for you this specially pre-prepared obituary for Club Nintendo while I go off and make a cup of tea. Right, let's get this started. Shit, hang on a second. God, I can't believe I recorded over an episode of Pod for this. Ah, here we go. Born Club Nintendo. Club Nintendo was widely regarded as a confused, bumbling shambles through which Nintendo fans, after spending hundreds of dollars on games and hardware, could receive the kind of gaudy, underwhelming knickknacks that even Stuart Ashen would be too embarrassed to review. Its critics were less generous, calling it a half-formed crawling abortion that, in a kinder, more civilised age, would be left on a remote hillside to be eaten by feral dogs. The way the scheme worked, besides badly, is that with every Nintendo game and system you bought, you would receive a special code. After entering this code into the Club Nintendo site and completing a mandatory survey, you would receive loyalty coins that could be exchanged for prizes. If you were European or Japanese, you got loyalty stars instead, which were incompatible with the US store and vice versa, because God forbid the whole sorry fucking system have any semblance of consistency. Some of the prizes available, after you forked out enough real money to feed a Somalian village, included a Mario pencil case, a reversible pouch with Mario on it, Mario desktop wallpaper, Mario badges, Mario themed gift wrap, and towels with Mario on them, proving beyond all doubt that Nintendo fans will buy literally anything with a fat Italian plumber on it. Some fans argued that not all the prizes were terrible and some were actually rather good. These fans were predominantly Japanese, as the available prizes varied from country to country and all the best stuff was exclusive to Japan. So while Europeans and Americans were left with lanyards, cheap kites and Mario themed sensu fans, Japanese Club Nintendo members could enjoy lavishly produced Hanafuda cards, handbags, and an exclusive classic SNES controller for the Wii. The best prizes, like badges, were restricted to Gold and Platinum Club Nintendo members, and to achieve this rank you had to earn 300 coins, or the same value in stars, over a 12-month period, the equivalent to buying 3 Wiis, 5 copies of Bayonetta 2, or 60 copies of Gravity badges. After that, you then had to pray to the cold, godless universe we live in that the item you wanted wasn't already sold out, as the so-called elite items were so limited in stock they might as well have been made from fucking unobtainium. Towards the end of its life, in a last-ditch attempt to appear even slightly worthwhile, Club Nintendo went digital, offering downloads of virtual console games such as Paper Mario, Super Mario 64, Mario Tennis, Mario Kart 64, Dr. Mario Express, Mario Picross, and other games with Mario in them. Some described this as shameless pandering to childhood nostalgia, while others considered it the final desperate floundering of a reward scheme dying on its arse. Critics were less kind, loudly speculating about when Nintendo would do an old yeller and put the wretched thing out of its misery for good. Public reaction to the news of Club Nintendo's death ranged from the mostly indifferent
Anything else?
to the gleefully cheerful.
I was in a bad mood when I come here. I'm in a good one now.
The exception, of course, was die-hard Nintendo fans, so hopelessly indoctrinated they'd give you their life savings for a semen-encrusted sock puppet if you stuck a red hat and a moustache on it. Global leaders and prominent public figures also gave their reactions to the death of Club Nintendo.
Well, when I got the call, actually, it was my agent. I thought he was joking, and I put the phone down on him.
Please, dear God, please, dear Lord, forgive us. Please forgive us. Please, please forgive us.
I mean, that is amazing. I mean, that is completely ingenious, a work of genius.
In the midst of economic recovery and global upheaval, disasters like this remind us of the common humanity that we share.
The Speaker has agreed to recall Parliament on Wednesday for a special session at which tributes will be paid.
Makes me want to break into the House of Lords and lay a turd on the carpet, you know, frankly.
You're not saying anything, Tony.
It was Club Nintendo's increasingly confused and erratic behaviour that led to its tragic death. One evening at Nintendo's headquarters in Kyoto, Club Nintendo shambled into a cleaning cupboard where it drank its entire body weight in bleach before fatally shitting its guts out. It leaves a legacy of crushing disappointment, a string of apathetic gaming news articles, and people scrabbling to spend all their coins before they go from being practically useless to literally useless. Club Nintendo, who died today. In other news, Bethesda announced this week that The Elder Scrolls Online, its stumbling misstep into the MMO genre, is dropping its monthly subscription fee for March and going buy to play, similar to Guild Wars 2. A development that absolutely no one saw coming, except for everyone not living on the dark side of the fucking moon. For the rest of us here on planet Earth, it was so obvious and inevitable that had it been an asteroid hurtling towards the planet, we would have all killed ourselves months ago. One reason for this decision likely has to do with the forthcoming Xbox One and PS4 versions due out in June, an entire year after they were originally meant to be released. By lowering the barrier for entry, Bethesda can attract more of the many console fans of the series, who were either put off from paying a monthly fee or didn't want to play it on last generation hardware. Another more obvious reason has to do with the changing state of the MMO market. Subscription-based MMOs simply aren't as profitable as they were 5 years ago, when Elder Scrolls Online was already 2 years into development. Since then, many existing MMOs either made the leap to free-to-play, like DC Universe Online, or chose to stick with a buy-to-play model like Guild Wars 2. So when Elder Scrolls Online launched in April of 2014, it was already beginning to look like the relic of a bygone age, on the pricing structure alone. That's not to say the game was a complete crashing failure. By October of last year, Elder Scrolls Online reportedly had a respectable, if not entirely earth-shaking, 1.2 million subscribers, though it's doubtful they'll all stay on as premium members once the game drops its mandatory monthly subscription. And when you consider Skyrim had shifted 20 million copies on consoles as of June 2013, it makes sense for Bethesda to lower the barrier for entry. You can still pay a monthly fee if you want though. People with paid subscriptions will get upgraded to a premium membership, giving them access to in-game bonuses, unbridled access to DLC expansions, and a monthly stipend of special in-game currency to spend on costumes, mounts, and convenience items at a new customization store. Freeloaders, on the other hand, will have to pay separately for the expansions and generally shamble around looking like grubby peasants in comparison to their shining premium brethren. Staying on the subject of vast fantastical worlds, BioWare released details of the upcoming 1.03 patch for the PC version of Dragon Age Inquisition. In addition to fixing a number of bugs, of which there are many, and adding a key that lets you walk instead of jogging everywhere like a crazed fantasy fitness fanatic, it also tweaks your party members' banter to make those long, awkward silences out on the road a lot less long, awkward and silent. One thing it doesn't fix, however, are the god-awful atrocious loading times, which has been pretty much the main reason I haven't touched the game since Christmas. So I completed Far Cry 4 and Shadow of Mordor instead. To call Dragon Age Inquisition's loading times a bit long is like saying the inevitable heat death of the universe isn't going to happen for a while, but if you are more persistent and patient than I am, here's 5 things you can do to make the game's loading times more tolerable and productive. Number 1. Write a novel. Hell, write 2 of them. Bonus points if it's a fantasy novel. Number 2. Travel to Mars. Number 3. Solve a murder case. Number 4. Read the entirety of Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, then recuperate in the lengthy stay at hospital from the ensuing brain damage. And finally, number 5. Get your degree. That's all for this episode of Pixel Burn. If you liked it, please do let me know, and let your friends, family, and Club Nintendo's loved ones know as well. At the very least, I hope you found it tolerable. If you didn't like it, however, then enjoy scrambling to spend the rest of your literally useless Club Nintendo coins. Or stars. You can go now.